Previously on
Riley reviews something.
Oh, shit.
Hello, Riley review something. Heard you were talking shit about Venom 2. Now time for you to go to sleep.
Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
What the hell? Shit.
Hello, Riley review something.
What do you want?
First, why didn't you mention anything about Venom 2's after credit scene? It was spectacular.
Look, I didn't mention it because I wanted to review the film, not the post-credit scene. Plus, didn't you watch the rest of the review? I ended up giving it like an 8.
Shut up! We both know that's some cap, Riley review something.
Okay, just what can I do to leave? What do you want? Do you want the selfie? Do you want me to pay? Because I can't pay for anything. I'm unemployed. But what do you want? What do you want?
You know what I want.
Fine. Venom 2 was fun. I had a good time with it. I would watch it again.
No. I'm over that shit. I want a Dune review.
That's it?
Precisely. One thing though.
Okay.
You gotta mention how hot Timothy Chalamet looks while he's screaming.
Okay! But can I ask just one favor before anything happens?
And that is...
Can you give me some drip? Hello. Guy, let me have his jacket. I'm balling. Well, from the orders that guy gave me, I guess we're reviewing Dune tonight. Which, you know what, goes according to plan because I was excited for this movie anyway. I mean, hell, I read the book, I watched part of the old Dune movie. I didn't really want to finish it. Spoiler alert, it's because it sucked. That's neither here or there, okay? We're here to talk about 2021 Dune. Now, obviously, I don't really like talking about plots about movies. You know the plot of this film, I know the plot of this film. Let's go and review this. Dune is fantastic. I hate to just jump into it, but I really just gotta talk about this film. I have not seen a movie this good in a long time. So a little bit of just setup. Dune is obviously based on the Frank Herbert novel that is very highly acclaimed, and because of this it inspired a lot of stuff like Star Wars and stuff like that. And this film is basically like the adaptation of that novel, because obviously the old film has shit like this in it.
By milking this smooth little cat's body, you receive your antidote. It must be done each day.
I don't remember that part being in the novel. And this film is directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is a fantastic director. He directed these. Blade Runner 2049 being my favorite film he's directed, up until Dune. One thing you should know is that this is part 1 of a story. I know a lot of people are talking about that, but it wasn't really marketed. When this film starts in the opening credits, it's very explicitly like Dune Part 1. So just so you know, this movie doesn't really have an ending. But Dune 2021 honestly reminded me a lot of Fellowship of the Ring. Both films are not only just fucking awesome, but also just set up the world, set up the story, set up the characters, and kind of get them to where the main story gets to. And then in the next couple films, or in this case, just part 2, that's when we'll get the rest of the story. But like Fellowship of the Ring, it is not boring, it is not overly long, and it tells a great story while also doing the #1 job of building a world. The world of Arrakis is somewhere that it feels like you're there. It feels like not only visually with the shots in this film, which I think everyone's raving about, as they should. This film is beautiful. Go see it in IMAX. It is beautiful and it is worth every penny. There were shots that were in space where I'm like, Jeff Bezos went up in that peanut ship and shot it. I know that for a fact. Now let's go into other aspects of the film that I love. Timothy Chalamet. I'm not just bringing this up because he wanted to. I'm bringing this up because I want to. I love this guy. I love him so much. And he's great in this film. Apparently he lobbied very hard for this role, and you can tell he really plays Paul Atreides very well. Other players like Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Rebecca Ferguson. For Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin, they're kind of just side characters in a way. They don't really have a huge part of the film. Not like Zendaya, where she's barely in this movie, I'm sorry. But Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, she is great. And they really had to play up Paul Atreides and his mom's relationship, and they do that very well. Baron Harkonnen is much better in this film than he was in the last film. He really is like the evil son of a bitch that he was in the novel. And in this film, he takes on kind of like a parasite. Like whenever he's like elevates up in that chair, he's frightening. It's really terrifying. One thing I also want to talk about is the soundtrack to this film. Hans Zimmer left Christopher Nolan on Ghosted for Tenet to do this film, and honestly, worth it. This movie has one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a while, and especially it has a lot of bass. So in like IMAX, when that bass was bumping, it's like, that's like the best way I can describe it. Overall, this movie is fantastic. I hate to just be so short, but I don't really want to get into spoilers. And this movie, I mean this in the best way, this movie is really just a setup for Dune Part 2. And if we don't get Dune Part 2, I'm going to quote Jeremy Jahns and say this is going to be the cinematic equivalent of getting blue balls. Which I can speak personally for, because I've had these blue balls for like years now, and they're useless. So overall, Dune is fantastic. This is definitely worth a theater watch. I know it's on HBO Max, but if you really can, you should go check this out in the theater. It's really good. Timothée Chalamet is awesome in it, and I'm going to be giving this a future.
Got some bad bitches that's gonna fuck me for that AP.
So yeah, if you get a chance to go see Dune, go see it. And also, I now am free. I think I'm free. I've made my bargain with the devil. I have nothing else to give to him. I gave him his Dune review. Yeah, I'm good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm taking those toys.